begin with breaking news.
8 backcountry skiers died in an avalanche. 1 remains missing, and that person is presumed dead after this avalanche near Castle Peak. A group of 15 in all were returning from a 3-day expedition when it happened Monday morning around 11:30. Now, the bodies of the victims have not been recovered yet on Tuesday morning. They have not been recovered, those bodies, because of extreme conditions.
Not a resource issue as we speak. It is a conditions, a weather condition and safety condition for our response teams.
And this avalanche that happened Tuesday morning yesterday is the state's deadliest avalanche on record.
All this happening during a major storm that continues to hit the Sierra. We have live team coverage for you following this tragedy, beginning with KCRA 3's Maricela de la Cruz and the recovery efforts.
Yeah, the recovery efforts are still ongoing as we're trying to find out more details about the people in this group. Today we learned that there were a total of 15 people that set out on a 3-day planned trip that included 4 guides and 11 clients. Now I'm going to give you more details on this incident. We know again that it was 15 people. The group included 9 women and 6 men. The avalanche happened yesterday morning about a mile from where another slide occurred in January. Several agencies in and out of the state deployed crews from both sides of the mountain. And at around 5:30 last night, a rescue team found 6 survivors. The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says the survivors included 1 guide and 5 clients, ages 30 to 55. Now, 2 were taken to the hospital, but we know that 1 has since been released and the other is expected to survive. Authorities say one of the victims is the spouse of a member of the Tahoe Nordic search and rescue team, and those rescue crews now have the task of finding 1 remaining missing skier and bringing the remains of those lost back home with more snow on the way.
Horrific conditions, just whiteout conditions. It's a known area where we have a lot of missions, search and rescue missions, that Castle Peak, Peter Grubb Hut, Frog Lake Hut area. So we train in that area. So they knew the terrain. That doesn't make it easier for them when the snow conditions and the wind conditions.
Now, officials at this time are urging skiers and outdoor enthusiasts to stay out of backcountry areas, backcountry skiing at this time, as we are expecting more snow on the way. For now, we're live. Maricela de la Cruz, KCRA 3 News.
Okay, Maricela, thank you. And we want to give you a 3D view here to give you a perspective of what happened here. As we zoom in, this backcountry area is just north of 80. It is the Castle Peak area, which is just about here. They don't groom this area of backcountry this time of year. And we know from Blackbird, the company that guided the trip, the group stayed here at the Frog Lake Backcountry Huts. They've been there since Sunday. It's really tough to get reservations here through the Tahoe Donner Land Trust, but on their website, they say the way to get there is by hiking through here, this area right through here. And we don't know if that's the path they took because they were caught in a storm, but what we do know is these are the coordinates of where that avalanche happened, and presumably where we have 9 skiers this hour waiting to be recovered. Lisa?
And we want to bring in KCRA 3's Brian Hickey right now and talk more about what happened as an experienced backcountry skier yourself in this rescue operation that we know is now a recovery operation. Brian.
Yeah, at least I've spent a lot of time out in this area. I've never stayed at the Frog Lake Huts, but have skied up and down Andesite Peak, Castle Peak, and the backside of this area where it's called Perry's Point, but just never down into Frog Lake. And wonderful area to go backcountry skiing when the conditions are right. And we know yesterday that crews made it out there. They were able to locate 8 of the 9 victims in this avalanche. And as they confirmed this morning, using avalanche beacons, a transceiver, anytime you go into the backcountry, just like a bicyclist would wear a helmet or a kayaker would wear a life jacket, when we go into the backcountry, we always wear our beacon, which is here. I'll show you in a minute. We bring a probe with us and a shovel. This stuff normally lives in my backpack. I pulled it out for to keep things quick here for you. But here is my beacon. I keep it down on my lowest layer so that if I have to shed a layer to stay cool, I'm not going to lose my beacon. Right now I'm in send mode. I'm going to switch this to receive. I have a beacon buried in the snow pile behind me. So we'll show you what happens now. I'm in search mode. We're going to wait for it. it's picked up a signal. This has actually picked up 3 beacons. There's folks nearby that are beeping right now. And normally on a day like this, I would ski with my beacon in the resort as well. I know that mine is the closest, so I'm gonna follow these arrows straight ahead right now. Now it's leading me to the right. It's important to know that the beacons send the signal out in a curved pattern. It's a magnetic wave, if you know anything about magnetics. So I'm following that wave in. It circled me to the right. Okay, now we're getting close. Listen to the beep. It's over here. 1.6, 1.6. So at this point, I'm within 3 feet. Now I could just start aimlessly digging, but this is the point where you start probing. You're looking in the snow right here. Now, that's normally what you do. I know that I buried the beacon right here, so this is kind of a give me, but the arrow did lead me right to the beacon, and this could be our other victim right here. And so that's why these are 3 pieces of equipment crucial for backcountry travel and what they used to locate those victims last night. They did have to leave them. They did say that they left their probes there and they marked those victims. You can see how tall this is. So any new snow that comes in, once they're able to safely go back out there, they'll be able to locate and recover those victims in this tragic incident. But this pile, obviously put here by a snowplow, is not all that different from what happens in an avalanche. That soft, fluffy powder, when it comes down to the hill, as soon as it stops, it sets up. It's very dense, very difficult to dig with your hand once you get down into some of those icier layers. So it's critical to have a shovel and the necessary tools, and that's what they were dealing with in whiteout, gale force winds last night. So again, a tip of the hat to those rescuers that went out in those conditions, rescued 6 and recovered 8, and sadly still have 1 more to look for. Back to you.
And Brian, you think maybe the beacon became detached from that one person that they're still looking for their body, right? Or ran out of battery?
I can't say. I don't know. I don't know if it ran out of battery, maybe wasn't turned on. Any prudent backcountry skier, we do a beacon check every time before we head out. Are you beeping? Yes. Boom, boom. We go through the group. So why that one? Why they didn't pick up that signal, or perhaps they did and didn't have time to get to it? I can't answer that. We just know that there's 1 person right now unaccounted for. And if that beacon is not working, they will go in with a line of searchers, shoulder to shoulder, and they will probe the snow. Take a step, probe the snow, and just keep looking until they get a strike.
All right, well, that's a great explanation, and they seem to be so accurate. It's fascinating to watch those in action. Brian Hickey, thank you so much, and thanks for your expertise on the subject.
Sure.
Well, this afternoon, the close-knit community of Truckee is grieving as we learn more about those involved. Officials say they are not identifying the victims right now out of respect for the families.
And KCRA3 Cecil Hannibal spoke to residents in this area this afternoon. So, Cecil, how are they reacting to the news?
Well, guys, people are both shocked, stunned, and like you said, this community is hurting right now. We don't know the names or identities of those victims, but what we do know is that this is an area, we're in Truckee right now, where that company, Blackbird, is based. And this is a community, guys, where skiing, snowboarding, being in the mountains is a part of the local economy, but also a way of life for people. You don't find many people in this area that don't ski themselves, right, or aren't familiar with where all of this happened. So today, guys, when I talk to people, both, veteran skiers, but also travelers coming from the Bay Area to the resorts, right now they say they are just stunned by what happened.
You don't think that's going to happen. I've survived in the mountains doing extreme sports for over 50 years, and it teaches you that nothing's guaranteed.
It's terrible. It's your worst, nightmare. Whenever you go skiing or snowboarding, it's in the back of your mind, especially when big storms come, and it's just your worst nightmare. I feel terrible for everyone, families and everything. So it just felt terrible. Well,
it's just beyond terrible because we've been in the area, we've hiked it, we've ridden our bikes there. We were on volunteer ski patrol, and we've had fatal accidents with avalanches, so it's been heartbreaking, and I don't know the details, but I worry about the families of the people who died, and it's just terrible.
Yeah, it's just terrible for sure. The couple who you just heard from, like you just heard from them, they've been to Frog Lake before many times. The gentleman said it's a beautiful location, and you don't expect something like this to happen here. But I asked him, did you expect this? He says with being in the mountains with avalanches, you never know what could happen. He said it's really sobering because people here love skiing, they love the outdoors, and you never know when a tragedy like this can happen. The gentleman you also heard from was traveling from the Bay Area. I asked him, do you have any hesitation now? He says no, he loves skiing, he wants to keep skiing, but when you hear about what happened in the deadliest avalanche in the history of California happening just a day ago, he says, again, it is, like everyone's saying, it's sobering, but it's also a reminder of how dangerous things can be when you're up in the mountains. We're live in Truckee. Cecil Hannibal, KCRA 3 News.